think I want to update the intro song.
I mean, you can do that. It sounds great so far.
Yeah,
but
it doesn't sound bad. Franco!
Rob, good to see you.
Good to see you, man. Happy Wednesday, April 16th. Hour drive from work or from home?
From home, near Long Beach area. So
Nice.
gotta take the 5 to the 101 all the way to Studio City, but
Damn.
you're worth it.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. And so are you. So are you. So we have many things. We had a little catch-up session earlier today. Life, bikes, clubs, and more importantly, DGR. What's your involvement? I was talking to Don, DGR.
DGR represent.
I was having a conversation with Don at the bike shed. Bike shed.
Let's go, bike shed.
Woo-hoo, and DGR. And, I said I have to talk to everybody. I want to talk to as many people involved as possible.
Right.
And first message I got, you. Hey, Don called me. He says, I got to set up a podcast, and here we are.
This is it.
What's your involvement? What's BMC's involvement? What's the team look like? What's happening? Talk to us.
Absolutely. So from the get-go, from the start, I was involved a couple years back as just a regular guest. And fast forward 4 years, I'm on the city host team. So helping with all the...
For Los Angeles.
For Los Angeles. DGR Los Angeles specifically. That's right. So, I would go to the rides because I believe in the cause. I think it's a wonderful movement. And anything motorcycle related in Los Angeles, you can guarantee I'll be there. But I got to meet the organizing team. A lot of the same faces you see, a lot of different organizations in LA. And I was always friendly with all of them. One year they said, hey, Franco, can you help us with parking? I'm like, absolutely. I already park motorcycles for events when we do BMC collaborations and at Beachside Moto Club group rides. We park motorcycles. So there's an art to parking motorcycles. A lot of people, you'll be surprised, don't know how to park their own bike. So was a regular...
Most people,
yeah. Not everybody, most. But I was a regular a regular volunteer one year, and then they said, hey, Franco, can you be one of the parking leads the next year? I'm like, sure. I know how to do it. Sounds good. I work with the team really well. Helped my co-lead, Steve, recruit more members on the parking team to help. And the last one was at the Santa Monica Pier, parked a lot of motorcycles on a pier takeover, which was fantastic.
I heard.
And then... actually, just before that last DGR last year in Santa Monica, they said, Franco, we want you to join the host team. And I was like,
Yeah.
yes,
That's
say
awesome.
less.
What an honor. Congratulations.
Yeah. So I guess they had been talking about bringing me on for a few months. And from what I know, everybody on the team was on board. There was nobody that said, I'm thinking about it still. I'm not sure. Nobody was like that. They were like, Franco's an obvious choice. So I said, yeah, I'm in. I'm here for the community. I'm here for DGR and spread the word. And a lot of people at Beachside Moto Club go to DGR and they see me wear the gear at Beachside Moto Club rides. So super easy to get involved. And every year we have a group of BMC members go to DGR, and it's going to be the same this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's an impressive organization and event. It's wild. Tell me about this. Last year, I was in Mexico City with Hyman, and that was wild and insane. I posted videos, and I'll repost those videos. It was an amazing experience. But I keep talking about the pier. The pier was, I heard, number one, I heard it was one of the most expensive things they had to book, which is fine. But everybody loved it. It was super legit, super clean. Tell me about that experience.
Absolutely. So the big thing about DGR is hosting the venue, the start point, and the ride in very heavy traffic locations or roads.
Yeah.
That's why we ride through like Rodeo and stuff like that. We want the exposure. And we're looking for iconic venues in Los Angeles. The year before that, the Greek Theater.
Yeah.
Right? So the pier was very expensive. But it did its job, right? We got a lot of people taking photos, sitting by the sidelines as we took off and asking, what is this organization? Everybody's dressed so nice and they're on motorcycles. We've never seen 600 motorcycles on the pier before. And so The event was ultra smooth. Thanks to the host team, they did a great job. The parking team, there's about 10 people on the parking team, and we assign roles all over the pier. Everybody did a phenomenal job making sure that people are parking correctly and in the right place. And we got so much foot traffic from just rando people. We probably recruited a lot of riders for this year. And it was a blast. I mean, nothing gets more iconic in Los Angeles than the Santa Monica Pier.
Nothing.
No.
And motorcycles. And
Yeah, right.
Let's talk about, because we're definitely having a conversation where people that know DGR know exactly what we're talking about. Now let's try to get more people involved and you know, people that don't know, because I still have the conversation. DGR's coming. What's DGR? Never heard of DGR.
Yeah.
Are you going to DGR? What's DGR? Are
Right.
you going to Distinguished Gentleman Ride? What's you know, the people don't know.
Yeah.
How would you describe what DGR is in LA? Where we're talking about, because this is I'll start this off. It's what, 500 cities? And I think
Just every major city around the world.
every major city around the world. So I think some of the numbers are something along the lines of over 500 cities, and I think there's over 500,000 people that ride worldwide on the same day for the cause. What is DGR?
Yeah.
What is Distinguished Gentleman Ride for Los Angeles?
Yeah, absolutely. So great question. DGR is a foundation that works with Movember. Usually when you drop Movember, people are like, oh yeah, I know what Movember does. They're there to support men's mental health, raise funds for prostate cancer research, and do everything you can to provide resources to prevent things like suicide in men, which is really high. And so DGR is the vehicle that brings awareness to Movember, specifically around motorcyclists, because a lot of guys like riding motorcycles or think they're super cool.
Right.
And so DGR is pretty much a global event, happens once a year. And kind of like if you were to sponsor somebody for a marathon, you do the same thing, but you sponsor someone to ride a motorcycle. And that person brings in money, brings in awareness, and pretty much rolls out the mission, which is providing resources for men's mental health and physical health. So it's a pretty cool movement in itself. Just if you were to take out the fundraising, right, you have in Los Angeles specifically, one of the bigger cities, police escorts and the massive group ride around Los Angeles. That draws in a lot of attention. But the cause is what keeps people coming back every year and working really hard to fundraise money. And thankfully, Los Angeles has been really successful with fundraising money. We've been in the top like 5 or 3 pretty much every single year, which is fantastic. But yeah, every year it grows, and it's really the best, biggest motorcycle charity worldwide.
And how does everybody dress? What's the style? What can people expect? And do you have to ride a motorcycle to be part of the event?
Great question. We have a lot of people that register, right? So you got to register to be involved to know the start point. Doesn't get disclosed publicly. If you register, you get an email. You don't have to go for a ride if you don't want to. If something's stopping you, you can still be involved. If you can't ride a motorcycle for any physical reason, you can still be involved. We have sidecars also. So, which is pretty much like the Batman and Robin. You have a motorcycle with a little car next to it. You can ride in the sidecar and be a passenger. We have
Batman and Robin.
yeah. You can. There's also really, really cool like Triumph cars also that have been involved, like actual 4 wheels. So you don't absolutely need to be on a motorcycle. I mean, the whole event is around riding a classic style motorcycle dressed in dapper clothes, which is kind of the theme. It's the theme across every DGR is you want people that are going to be dressed dapper, which is like 60s style speakeasy looking Peaky Blinders looks. And people get a kick out of it. And we have 1 million photographers at our events. So when you're dressed up that way, it's perfect for photos. But ideally, you want to ride, but you don't have to. And there's a place for you if you don't have a motorcycle or can't ride. You can just show up. Usually what we do is we start the ride at the same point where it ends. So we do a massive loop around very popular places in Los Angeles, so you can just stick around and wait for us to get back. There's a huge party before the ride and after the ride, so you're not going to miss a whole lot. And the ride's maybe like an hour to an hour and a half. So you can still be involved and not have a motorcycle. We're more than happy to have you.
And by party, party before and after. The before is a huge get together of camaraderie, people catching up, coffee, bagels, some kind of breakfast. Nobody's drinking, nobody's getting messed up. It's a party of life. It's a party of a cause.
Yeah,
that's before that, and then afterwards there is usually a place where it's a celebration.
Right.
It's a celebration of brotherhood.
Right. And thanks for pointing that out, Rob. Yeah, it's there's a live band usually.
Nice. And
we have announcements. We have sponsors saying a few words. We have a raffle. We have just safety briefings for the group ride. So you're right. It's a huge gathering. Sometimes it feels like a high school reunion where everybody goes there and says, hey, let's meet at DGR, and you see familiar faces you maybe haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
So it's a huge celebration, like you mentioned. We do the announcements and then a similar energy at the end of the ride where we give away a motorcycle, right? We do all of our Dapper contests, first place for men and women, and give away a motorcycle to, if you're in the top running for fundraising, you're eligible, which is pretty awesome.
Now, this is something that I learned from last year or the previous year for many reasons, but this was never discussed. This was never promoted, I feel like. What people need to understand is the Triumph is the main sponsor, and this is why we keep bringing up, Triumph's name. They're the main sponsor at a world scale. And they give away 3 motorcycles. Gardeners.
Yeah, I can hear them.
I know.
I can hear them. It's okay.
They give away, so Triumph gives away, that's a Triumph motorcycle driving by. Oh,
yeah,
that's a Gardener.
We can tell.
Yeah. But they give away 3 motorcycles worldwide to the top 3 racers of Movember for DGR. And then LA is giving away a motorcycle at a local level to the top raiser. So quick question. If the number 1 raiser, this is terrible.
I'll go beat him up for us.
You know what? Let's pause for 1 second. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Okay. We were talking about the first place. So, the point is, that doesn't matter. We'll figure that out.
Yeah.
The point is that this is for a great cause. This is to create awareness. This is a celebration. This is a gathering. This is brotherhood. This is like a big high school party that people are gathering and catching up with people that usually you can't catch up with, because LA is one of those places that people are too busy, and this has the same effect in every other city. Triumph is the main sponsor. They give away 3 motorcycles to the top people that raise it. I think that's cool because it creates like a goal. Obviously, we're not doing it for that, but that's awesome. And then you guys are going to be doing one locally where you're going to be giving away to the top raiser. That sounds funny. Fundraiser of LA.
Yes.
So is that with the dealership that we're working with, or?
That's right. So SoCal Moto Brea. Yeah.
SoCal Moto Brea.
They've been stepping up. Brea has been stepping up. They're a huge dealership in Brea, and they have been supporting us for a while now. They host events at their dealership. We go and represent DGR there with the canopy. They bring an army of people to our DGR, and they are giving away a custom motorcycle, brand new 0 miles, to one of the top fundraisers in Los Angeles. And Los Angeles is one of the bigger cities. Every single year, top 3. They're always fundraising a lot
but never number 1. Not yet.
This year, guys, we need your help to make it happen. This year, make sure you register for DGR Los Angeles.
And DGR is going on 13 years, I want to say.
I think so, yeah.
Something like that. And it's never been number 1. Hold on. Where is it? Oh.
Oh.
Not number 1. Come on, guys.
Come on. Let's do better this year.
Let's do it. No, we're going to be number 1. I have a feeling.
We have a lot of things in place, a lot of events coming up to help hype and bring awareness to DGR, which is May 18th, 2025. We have a couple events brewing to make sure that people know this is happening, because there's so many events going on in Los Angeles, so many motorcycle just organizations putting on their events around the same time. There's like 3 overlapping events that same day that I know of.
Right.
It's hard to miss, or it's really easy to miss what's going on May 18th. So May 18th is a Sunday, and before that, we have 2 really big events for DGR Los Angeles participants and people that know. So if you hear about it, bring a friend and tell them why you love DGR LA, and hopefully we'll recruit more members, more people to register.
Yeah. And then another thing I want to bring up that I think is important, your donation, it's a write-off, right?
Yeah, it is. It's you're donating to a 501c3. So when you donate, you can receive a printout with all the info, so you can write it off, and it doesn't hurt you that bad. So
that's beautiful.
If you're looking for a place to send money, DGR Los Angeles would be the one.
Can we talk about some of the other sponsors that are involved currently?
Yeah, so we have, let's see, we've got, who do we got? We got Guns Moto Wear. They make leather jackets. Actually, I'm wearing one today. I brought it. It's sitting over there.
Nice.
DGR specific leather jacket with armor. Thank you,
Beautiful
Guns.
colors, yeah.
We've got, let's see, I'm trying to remember.
Russ Brown's one of the big ones.
Russ Brown.
This is one of the big ones. Oh,
thank you, Russ Brown, for supporting DGR.
You got Russ Brown in there. Triumph, obviously, is one of the biggest ones. Brea is doing their motorcycle out of their own pocket, out of their own inventory, right?
That's right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they believe in Los Angeles. That's why they're not going anywhere else. They love the size that we bring in terms of riders and fundraising, and the stage that we provide.
And the stage. And then people are going to be able to see the sponsors and more information. Is there a separate website for Los Angeles versus a generic one? And what's the website where people can sign up to?
That's right. So yeah, DGR, it's just gentlemansride.com. But Los Angeles has its own personal page where you register through the Los Angeles page. And if you scroll at the very bottom, it's got all of the sponsors, right? So we've got like Moto Chop Shop as well, who supports DGR. Moto Chop Shop, Kevin, we love you.
Everybody loves Kevin.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
Cool to hang out with.
I've heard.
Yeah.
I think I met him once, and I've had at least like 100 people sit right there and say, "Kevin's the coolest guy in the whole world." So
that's right. Kevin's pretty involved in the community, and if you have a modern Triumph motorcycle, he knows it inside and out.
I just picked up a Triumph, so I'm gonna have check out my bike.
And he's down the street from you. I mean, you're both in the valley.
That's crazy.
So you got to go visit.
Yeah, I guess that's why everybody brings them up.
Yeah, well, if all of your speakers are in the area, definitely. Yeah. I'm the one in Long Beach area, so it's a little further. But he still works on my Triumph, and I've called him when I've been on the side of the road, and he's very responsive. So we love Kevin at Moto Chop Shop. But yeah, so DGR Los Angeles has its own personal page. On there, you can see all of the co-hosts for Los Angeles, and you register through that. That way, all of the info you get comes straight from the LA host team, right? So like the meetup point and any specific info we want to send out, you'll get the email specifically for as a DGR LA registrant.
Now, I'm going to try to fool you here and try to get some good information from you.
Okay.
Where's the meetup point this year?
Oh, great question. We will find out like the day before the ride.
Because you don't have one, or is it just a big secret?
We can't disclose that. Now, the reason is DGR is all about a cause to help fundraise money to make an impact and support Movember in their mission to help men all over the world. What we don't want DGR Los Angeles to be is to just be a hangout with a group ride, right? So there's a reason why we're putting in all of this work, and we don't want people showing up uncontrolled without signing a waiver and just doing whatever they want and then leaving and not really giving to the organization, giving to the cause. So That's the reason why we don't disclose the meetup point publicly. Everybody that registers will get all the info they need, but they'll get it at the right time. So yeah, we don't want it to just be a regular Sunday morning or evening ride.
I number one, I understand the safety aspect of why you guys do it that way, but I totally think it's so cool that it's basically you go to the site, you register, you donate whatever you can. I think we have a $50 minimum, right?
Right.
Which is not a big deal, but we have a $50 minimum, and we again, this is all for charity and for Movember. But the fact is that you guys are planning this thing, the what do you call it, the trail or the
route.
The route, the location, the sponsors, everything's hush hush. And then as you register, the night before, like at midnight or something, it's like everybody that's there gets sent an email. We're meeting here tomorrow. So it's like this shock or surprise. That's cool, man. That's wild.
Yeah, be ready. Yeah. Ready. Just block out your Sunday, May 18th.
That's it.
Block it out.
Just be up at 4 a.m. and wait for your email and just go.
Yeah.
Is there anything else like that you know of?
There isn't. There's
such a cool thing. Like, imagine an event like monthly, and it's like you just know the date, but you don't know what's going to happen. It could be a 200-mile ride. It could be a 3-mile ride. But at 5 a.m.,
yeah,
I don't know. We could start something.
It's worth the wait, and it's worth being, checking your email and checking updates from the DGR Los Angeles Instagram, because there's a gazillion moto group rides in LA.
Yeah.
Every weekend. There's something. But nothing with police escorts, a full-blown motorcade. There's nothing with a cool route like we're designing, with people holding signs, turn left, turn right. We have volunteers spread out throughout the whole route. And it's just a awesome parade of motorcyclists that goes on for like 5 minutes. If you're just standing at a corner, you're just watching all these bikes go by. It's a spectacle, really, something amazing to be a part of. And you're not gonna stop talking about it that whole week. You're gonna tell all your friends what you were involved with. So definitely worth just checking your email that day before and planning ahead. And we don't meet up that early, so you'll have plenty of time to get to wherever we are. It'll be in Los Angeles, so you'll be all right.
Yeah, it's wild how much attention it gets. It's wild how cars stop and everybody's filming and taking pictures, and the pedestrians. It's a wild scene.
People are like, "What is this? What is going on?" And then you have people like Rob with the flag on the back of their bike with the giant DGR logo, and they're like, "Okay, let me look this up."
Frickin' Rob.
Yeah.
Frickin' Rob. Shout out to frickin' Rob.
Shout out to Rob with the flag.
Yeah, he's always got that flag.
Yeah, on a car tire. The bike, the rear wheel's a
car tire.
Yeah, it's a car
tire. Yeah. I'm going to dork out real quick, but there was a motorcycle company dedicated to only making car tires, and they did huge studies on how well it actually performed. And I think they're still around. It's just so visually like, what is this?
It's flat.
Yeah, it's flat. Like, what? That doesn't work. But there was good studies on that.
Gotcha.
They're still around. I don't know if it's popular, but yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I can't wait to have you on the ride, Rob.
Yeah.
You bring a lot of value.
Dude,
people recognize you.
This year, we did Mexico City last year. So we did Mexico City last year because Mexico City had the most riders for DGR event from any city.
Yeah.
But they had like the least amount of money being raised.
Right.
So Jaime and I went over there and we changed that, met up with Ricardo Salinas, met up with a bunch of people, met up with a bunch of dealerships, and then Remy joined us, which was awesome. Francisco, Art, he was a Bike Shed member. And who else? There was a few other people. So it was really cool, amazing experience. So we made Mexico City number one. Then
congratulations.
Thank you. And then we were talking. Mark Hall showed up to Mexico City too, so he rode with us. It was a shit show. It was wild. I mean, a good shit show, but it was just wild.
Yeah.
It was a shit show, but once you accepted it, you're like, this is amazing. That's what I mean.
Uh-huh.
And then we all agreed this year to do Madrid, and we were gonna go to Madrid this year. And then Ricardo Salinas was gonna join us. He's a well-known guy over there.
Okay.
And then something happened where our schedule changed, and now Jaime and I were like, man, Madrid would be fun, but LA's home. LA's home, and we got the kids and family and all this stuff. So my point is, now this year we're gonna have the chance of making LA number one.
Yes.
We're gonna be home.
Yes.
And we're gonna be with our families. So like this is super exciting.
Bring that fundraising superpower that you guys have.
Yeah.
You guys are a great team.
Yeah.
I'm glad the cards changed for you guys and you're back in LA because we missed you.
Yeah. It's gonna be.
We missed you a lot. We were watching all the fun you had in Mexico. But yeah, it is the Wild West out there. And I've seen it through riding just with my homie down to Mexico. There are so many motorcyclists, thousands just taking over the streets. The cops can't do nothing. They just watch.
They can't do nothing.
You can't stop the masses.
And some of the roads and some of the stuff, you're like, this is wild, man. But like once you stop worrying about it and just, focus, it was such a beautiful scene. Like I'll never forget that.
Cool.
I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
And the good thing was it wasn't too far. Realistically, it was a pretty decent ride.
Okay.
It was like, what the hell? Okay, I accepted. It's over. Oh, that was good.
Oh, it was a short. So it's a short route, huh?
It was a pretty short route. I don't remember it being more than 10, 15 minutes.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's tiny.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a lot of organization and a lot of riding, a lot of people for 15 minutes.
The event was huge and lasted a long time.
Right.
And the after event lasted.
Okay.
So yeah, it was less about the ride and more about the cause, if that makes sense.
Okay, cool.
So,
Cool.
which again, I think a bunch of people rode, prior to that, getting there and then afterwards and, this, that. But it was a lot of what we had, which I think we're trying to work on this year as well, is we had a lot of the TV stations and networks and news and medias and interview. Like it was constant, television, and people were very curious. It was educating the city of Mexico what DGR is, what this madness they see, and why it's happening, and that really opened up their eyes for everybody. And again, I talk about Jaime all the time. That's my brother. He made it real clear. To make an example for television that, especially in Latin cultures, you have this machismo and speaking about your problems or dealing with your problems or letting people, it's okay. It's okay to cry. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to be a man, but in those areas, people are so like, hey, you can't, and you're a man and just shut up and, go to work and, do your things. And that exists worldwide, in many cultures in many countries, and that's kind of what the message was in Mexico City.
Gotcha.
And Jaime nailed it, man. He nailed it. Like the amount of people coming up to us afterwards and like, I was dealing with this, I was dealing with that. I didn't talk about it. I shut the doors on me. It was difficult.
Wow, what an impact, Jaime. We appreciate all the work you're doing worldwide.
Yeah,
good work.
Absolutely.
Good work. Yeah, I mean the resources we have. Somewhere like LA, it's a little bit better. Thankfully, things like, organizations like Movember are headquartered in Santa Monica.
I know.
Which is awesome, right in our backyard.
And the amount of people that you and I know that have worked with Movember in situations of difficult times, prior to us knowing them, that have stepped up. Thank goodness that organization exists. It's a big deal, man.
Absolutely. And I will say we have an event April 30th, Mustaches and Motos, and we're going to have Movember reps there to speak, which is really fantastic.
Beautiful.
So it'll be a smaller scale event at Santa Monica Brew Works, and we're going to have myself, other speakers, and Movember talking about all the great work they're doing. So if you want to hear a little bit more about what they do, make sure to check that out. It'll bring a lot of awareness.
Not only that, I got to reach out to Movember. I want to get them back in here. I had them here 2 years ago. I had an audio hiccup with them, so it was a good episode. But the sound quality was kind of like it wasn't these mics. It was just the camera, so you kind of hear all the stuff. Everything you and I hear, people can't hear it with this system.
Gotcha.
But I would definitely want to get Movember back in here and talk about more about what they do and more about those stories, because it's impactful.
Having that FaceTime to ask them in person might accelerate having them here, maybe even before DGR. So they'll be there. It's a lot faster to have a conversation and shake a hand than send out one email a week. Which it can not saying that's November, but that's just every organization you work with. It could be that way.
I don't think it's an issue to get them here. I think it's pretty simple. I just got to reach out to them.
Cool.
And then last thing, so DGR, fun event, May 18th, register, donate, sponsor us, sponsor anybody you know that rides a motorcycle to cover the event. It's a tax write-off. Whoever's raising money, you get a chance to win a bike. So, start reaching out to all your contacts. It's a good cause. The only other thing I want to ask other than that is a side. That's it for DGR.
Okay.
How's Beachside Moto going? What's going on? Any updates there? Any new information?
Absolutely. Yeah. So Franco, he's involved in a lot. Yeah. That guy just is nonstop.
Rockets.
He doesn't stop.
Rockets. Bikes.
That guy is. He's got a factory of Francos so that he can be in two places at once. Yeah. Right. So right now I'm in Mexico.
Cloning.
Yeah. So Beachside Moto Club is doing fantastic. I mean, we've had a new prospect class come in that are all superstars. They are all bringing a lot of value. This year we've had 3 huge rides, all over 100 people. And it's not even, there's no police escorts. We just have a crew managing this parade ride. And we ride some pretty cool roads in Southern California. We just launched yesterday our community collection. So we're going to have 2 T-shirts for sale in partnership with Cactus Johnny. And a portion of all the sales we do are going to go to the wildfire funds in Los Angeles because we got hit pretty hard with that. Yeah. But
we got hit as a community, as riders, as a city, as everything. Everybody got affected by that.
That's right. That's
awesome.
Right.
You guys are doing that.
And if you ride a motorcycle in LA, you're missing the northern routes because they're not available from that. So because of that, we've pivoted quite a bit for our routes every month. We do monthly rides once a month, usually the first Saturday. So because of the wildfires, we had to pivot and go south, starting in Orange County. At 2 rides, we started at Gremlin Garage in Costa Mesa. Gremlin Garage, they're the champs. Make sure you check them out. We love Gremlin Garage. Great venue. 1 month road to Brewery X in Anaheim. The other month to Left Coast Brewery in San Clemente. Again,
shout out to all these.
Yeah.
I mean, all these brands and companies that are collaborating with the motorcycle industry, really big shout out.
We love it when they support us, right?
Yeah.
And we bring a lot of business, right? 100 people to your business. It's great. And last month, actually, last Saturday, we hosted a ride in Northern now because we're kind of headquartered around like Santa Monica, Redondo area.
Yeah.
So we go north or south. We alternate months. This past Saturday, we had our first northern route of the year. Started at Motoring Coffee, and
I haven't even been there.
You have
Motoring Coffee?
Yeah, it's Motoring Club.
Motoring Club. Yeah,
the coffee spot.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So we started our
I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Motoring Coffee had a really big turnout there, and we rode to Bruise Brothers in Burbank down the street from here. Yeah. So we've worked with Bruise Brothers multiple times. They've been very generous to having motorcyclists around. And like you mentioned, Rob, shout out to all the businesses that work with us because most people we reach out to, we have to sell them on what Beachside Moto Club is. Right. We're not your traditional 3-patch club that cause trouble and leave the place trashed. We're the complete opposite. We bring good vibes, good people. We're very respectful. We don't trash anything. And when we leave, we're very grateful for it and we show it. So
I think one of the statements I've heard once is you guys leave places cleaner than how you found it.
Yeah. We do our best so that we get invited back, right? We're trying to change the stigma of motorcyclists and these social groups.
3 year?
4. Yeah, well, we're going on 4. It's been a wild ride.
Was January the 3rd? When was the 3rd year anniversary ride?
December.
Yeah.
Okay. We had our anniversary ride at Ether last December.
So that's the one that was on.
Yeah, that's the one you were at. And we inducted our prospects at that ride. We made a whole speech and pointed them out individually, gave them a hug.
I want to call out. He used to work for Livewire. Now he's with you guys.
Louis. Yeah, the homie Louis.
Yeah, the homie Louis.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all homies.
They're all homies, but Louis comes through. We love that guy.
Louis, and you guys had like three announcements of 3 new people.
Right.
Part of the team.
Right. So Louis, Amy. We love Amy. Angela. We love everybody. Shannon and John Lennon.
Shannon?
No, Shannon, different Shannon.
I like how we could just say that. And it's like, what are we talking about? Shannon or Shannon? Oh, it's that Shannon. Yes, Shannon.
Right. Shannon's a superstar. We love her.
All Shannons are superstars.
Yeah, they are. All Shannons are tall and blonde.
Yeah. That's true. What?
Yeah. And they have Triumph motorcycles. Both
Damn
of them
right.
do. But yeah, we patched them publicly, said a few words, and handed them their patches in front of the whole the whole December group ride, which was great. And so they've put in a lot of work. The ladies hosted an all women's group ride, sponsored by a bunch of women-owned businesses, and it was a huge success, and all under the Beachside Moto Club umbrella. So BMC is a very healthy position. We've got a lot of good crew members, and we're actually going to open up a new prospect class. We usually do it for 6 months. It's June to December. That way, in those 6 months, we get to vet them, right? Because everybody wants to join. Everybody wants to rep BMC. But we need people that are going to have the bandwidth to help, right? So we do group rides once a month. We do internal crew-only events, socials, retreats, campouts. And we just launched our community T-shirt yesterday. So sales will go live a week from today for 1 week only. So we're only going to have shirts for sale for 1 week. So we'll see how that goes. But we're very excited because I can't tell you, every ride I got 1 or 2 people, hey man, where can I buy a T-shirt? Like, where can I get something that says Beachside? I used to just say, you want a shirt? We give them at the camp out. Go to the camp out and you'll get a T-shirt. But these are more like lifestyle brand T-shirts, and we're very excited to have those.
I'm so proud of you, man. Beautiful. Yeah. And since you said it, any rumors on the camp out, dates and times?
Dude, the camp out, man, is so fun.
Yeah.
But it's a full-time job.
It's a full-time
Putting on a ticketed event with T-shirts, with reserving campsites for 100 people.
Karaoke, music, food.
We're not a corporation. We're not even a legit nonprofit. We're just a group of people that love the community and love riding motorcycles. So
you're just obsessed, bro. You're obsessed.
A lot of people would say that.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of money to front the costs of all these things, and a lot of planning, a lot of downtime. So the camp out is making a comeback this year at a smaller scale, and it'll be later in the year. So keep an eye out.
Franco, I'm proud of you. Amazing. I'm excited about DGR, the whole team. Every time I run into you, I think I told you when I saw you right now, you're like a family member I haven't seen forever. But when I see you, I fucking smile ear to ear, and it's just always a great conversation.
Yeah.
Thank you for everything you've done,
dude. I appreciate you, Rob. I surround myself around people that I admire and I look up to. Everybody at Beachside Moto Club, Adam Plax, very good people. Everybody at the DGR.
Miss you, Adam.
Yeah, we miss you, Adam. Although I text him every single day.
Yeah.
We got to stay in touch to make BMC happen. And everybody at the DGR Los Angeles, the whole co-host team, they're all good people. And like you, I like to surround myself around people that work hard, are determined. They survive through perseverance and problems, and we make magic happen together. So
it's our own way of keeping our mental health stable and focused and getting involved in all these things. It's not just a passion or an obsession. It's what riding motorcycles does. And there's people that own motorcycles. It's interesting because there was a study. I don't want to talk about who created the study, but there was a study from one of the manufacturers of motorcycles, and they were saying that when somebody buys a motorcycle, if they don't put, I think it was 500 or 1,000 miles that first year, they're not going to ride. And what ends up happening is the reason they don't make it to that 500 to 1,000 miles is because they didn't find a group, even though there's millions of groups, but when you're entering the space, they need to find that group or that coffee shop or that place to link up. And once they meet that one person, it's over. It's forever. But some people miss that window, and then they're not interested in bikes or anything.
I definitely have something to say about that.
Yeah, please.
So at BMC rides in the beginning, before we go on the ride, we do safety announcements, and we usually, say, hey, who has never been to a BMC ride before? And we get 10 to 15 hands go up. And these are all people that have never made a community around motorcycles. Someone sent them our flyer on Instagram, or someone sent them info on when we're meeting up, and they showed up, and they had that courage to show up and be social. I can point those people out at a ride. I see them, and I always make it a goal to introduce myself, and I bring them and I connect them with somebody I know so they can make those friends. Because you're right, like a lot of riders don't have that community. They're looking for it. Sometimes they don't know it exists, but when they get hooked, it's for life. Like they are hooked for life, and they know the community exists. Whether they move out of the city, out of the state, they know motorcycles will bring people together, and it's a life hack for making friends. So I always kind of think of it like you go to a mom and pop Italian restaurant. The owner goes to every table and makes every guest feel like they're at home.
Welcome, yeah.
I kind of try to have that philosophy where I go to people I don't know at a BMC meetup. I introduce myself, have a conversation, and make them feel seen. That way they keep coming back, and every time they come back, they make another 5, 10 friends, and they start to feel welcome, and they're like, this is my home. So if you're out there and you ride a motorcycle and you want to make some friends, go to a Beachside Moto Club group ride. You won't regret it.
That's awesome. Thank you, Franco.
Yeah.
Till next time.
Okay. I'll see you next time.
Absolutely.